Hello everyone and welcome to the final game of the tournament. I hope you have an enjoyable day, and if you're watching this one after another, apologies for always wishing you a good day, but I don't really know how to open the intros. One day I might figure this out. Anyhow, we're playing the final game against Kosmoflot, and we're playing Resilience Operation Custom Variation one more time, which again, to anyone that didn't watch the previous one, is basically the organizer drafts 5 main objectives, 4 conditions or whatever, and then basically me and my opponent each have 1 veto, which leaves us with 3 missions that are common for both players. We have the same objectives, which are open information, we play the same stuff, and each of us gets 1 condition to choose from, and this basically creates a mission. Personally, not a favorite. What I like the most about resilience operations is playing into blind, and I really like the feel how you don't know what your opponent has and your opponent does not know what you have, which kind of creates this sort of, am I winning, am I losing, what is happening, what is going on, and it kind of itches this, it makes scratches that itch of me of playing spec op missions where we have different objectives and we don't always have to go for the same. Anyhow, we're basically playing, if I remember correctly, take enemy supplies, and yeah, I'm kind of lost at what we're playing. Yeah, it triangulates, which is place more beepers, and then this cyber siege, which is destroy something in your opponent half of the table with a whip roll. So all of boring shit basically. And yeah, we're playing against Kosmoflot, and usually what I would do is I would play with the tag list, right? Usually a cutter is the answer to the Volkolak and the Unknown Ranger, and it's really good in the Kosmoflot. Unfortunately, the thing is, I didn't take a cutter and I took a Squallow. And after seeing the table that we'll be playing on, I was really worried that my Squallow would either get absolutely shredded turn 1, because there was no good ways to hide it, or I could not get into the Volkolak. And once we draw the conditions and I could take a Knight, which is basically -3/24, I was over the moon and I decided to play with two Kamaos, and yeah, go for the West. So again, 2 Kamau lists. So we have Kamau number 1, Kamau number 2, 2 fire teams, really quickly to explain it. One is the Harris, one is the Core, and then we have the Orc Feuerbach to have some extra anti-armor, extra gun. But over the course of the tournament, it never came into fruition. The Orc Feuerbach was just there. It could be whatever, basically. But it's always good to have Feuerbach if you have to break through a tag that is left on arrow. And then again, Krokman Hacker Group 2, which is unsung hero of this tournament, and I'm really satisfied and really happy with how he performed also in this game. Even though this game was not a super stellar performance, it was still quite solid. Then we have the Echo Bravo, and well, the Echo Bravo is game 3 of disappointment, and yeah, the parachutists are just not that good, Definitely in comparison with a Zulu Cobra for 1 more point, with a Breaker Combi Killer Hacking Device. The Echo Bravo is just, no, nah. After 3 games of playing with him, I'm every single time, I really wished I had a Zulu Cobra, honestly. So, there's that. Granted, there's like this super niche situation where he might pay off with the Wild Parrot, but it never came to fruition, but Zulu Cobra is just way more stable and way more efficient. Group 2, 3 Helots, nothing really fancy. Knight of Montesa, Paramedic, absolute staple in Varuna. You need something that can get into your opponent's face and tank a mine and a template. So yeah, there's that. So we're playing against Kosmoflot, and it is quite important that this is an Equip Mirage 5 list. So we had some misunderstanding with my opponent. Basically, he uses a mechanic with a mine layer to trick anyone into thinking that he has 14 on the table instead of 13, because my opponent, after talking with him, he really thought that mine layer was not an open information. So he did not have he neither had courtesy list, neither did he inform me that he has a mine layer. So after asking few times, he basically explained that he has 14 models on the table. So the Equip Mirage caught me by a surprise a big time, right? So I really did not expect this because of a misunderstanding. And again, I have absolutely nothing against my opponent. Mistakes happen even at the top tables. So if he really, I believe that when he said that mine layer was on hidden information, and once I basically notified him that you cannot have 15 well, you cannot have Mirage because you said so and so on. Yeah, whatever, right? So Mirage, while telegraphed, not in this game. I was shocked by Mirage, honestly. Then again, we have Uxia, and then we have the Volkolak, infamous Volkolak with Rockets. I'm not 100% sure on the composition of the fire team. Things might be different because this is from memory, of course, recreation. And group 2 is like Rokot and the Varangian Unknown Ranger, and then Macaulay. So in short, we have three threats, basically the Unknown Ranger, the Volkolak, the regular bear, because it's cheaper for some reason, and of course Equip Mirage and the Uxia. So all in all, a really aggressive Kosmoflot list designed to smash faces with Mirage. So this is the table I was talking about, right? So I was really worried of taking a Squalo because let's say that, again, this is the Volkolak where the Volkolak finally ended up with. And if I have a Squalo, it's really awkward for me to approach into this Volkolak. And even if I approach, this is somewhat awkward fight. And there are a lot of long lanes I can abuse with my sniper rifles, and I can actually outrange the, well, maybe not this one, but you know, this one, like this one. There are a lot of ways for me to outrange the missile launcher with my Kamau snipers, and especially with a knight, this is a really good fight that I would otherwise never take, but the table really supports my playstyle of taking multiple sniper rifles. So, my opponent wins the low talent roll, decides to go fast, because this is Kosmoflot, you always want to go fast, and I decide to take the better side, which is this one. So, really quickly, the controller for the bear pod somewhere inside of this building, then the infamous mine from the mechanic that was 100% sure was a Cateran because of a misunderstanding, the mechanic inside of the building, the fire team scattered around this building with the paramedic and the Volkolak on the building. Then the Harris is located here, ready to assault with the Unknown Ranger and two other schmooks. And yeah, we want to counter-deploy this, but we want to avoid the Volkolak missile launcher, because even though this is somewhat okay fight, if we're like in a good range, knight and so on, this is a risky fight, because I'm never going to one-shot the Volkolak, and if I roll poorly, he rolls well, the Kamau is basically gone. So I always want to take this fight in the active just to have one extra die. So, we're trying to avoid the Volkolak while still providing meaningful arrows, and this is what we end up with. The Kamau sniper is basically looking towards the Unknown Ranger, and it pins him in place unless he does some shenanigans with cautious move and prone, which I cannot really afford if I still want to not take the fight with Volkolak. So yeah, this is that. Then we have the second sniper, which basically oversees what I think is a Cateran, but it isn't. And also protects this way from Unknown Ranger. So even if the Unknown Ranger takes the fight, eliminates this Kamau, if it happens, then he has to still go to another Kamau, and it's outside of 24, so I'm quite sure that the Unknown Ranger won't be able to get out of this deployment zone. At the same time, we're trying to go as far back as possible to prevent myself from getting Uxiat, splitting out our resources, and we have the, well, there is a spot on the stairs where I can reserve drop a Hilot in case Uxia manages to infiltrate on this area. So basically this Kamau is practically protected from the Uxia, and this Kamau, yeah, it is kind of awkward for the Uxia to go in, and basically wherever if Uxia would go and try to kill the Kamau, it's 100% going to die from my arrows, and there is even a possibility where the Uxia won't manage to get into CC with the Hilot, I mean with the Kamau, and I can actually go unconscious instead of go and die. Because of as a force of habit, even though I'm not expecting Mirage, I have this guy watching this area, this Helot watching, so this Helot watches this area, this guy watches this area, the Montesa watches this area. So even though I don't expect Mirage, I still have some sort of protection against Mirage, but this area is quite open, because again, I'm not expecting a Mirage. Then my opponent decides to reserve drop Uxia, she rolls like an 18 or 19, fails, and just ends up here. So there's that, a good start for me, no more Uxia to worry about. So, as it turns out, my opponent has actually 13 orders, which already makes me nervous, because Mirage is, and at this point we basically talk about this misunderstanding, and I'm telling him that I was, well, you know, basically what I said at the beginning, but we ended up just going with the flow and playing it, and I shrugged my head and like, whatever. So, luckily this Kamau is watching the place where the Mirage wants to come in, so the Unknown Ranger wants to take this fight. He sneaks up by combination cautious moving and crawling, goes to this position, takes the fight against Kamau. First fight he takes 1 wound, second fight I guts to lower staircase, which destroys the line of fire to the Mirage, and then Mirage comes up. But as I'm basically still on this picture, as a final order the Unknown Ranger will move a bit closer and back and put the Kamau unconscious. Unlucky. So over three orders of shootout, the Unknown Ranger put the Kamau unconscious, lost a wound, but luckily he's left here standing because he ran out of orders due to cautious move, proning and whatever. So again, Mirage comes up, right? Mirage comes up here, the Durok, and starts sneaking around, blows up this building, which is basically nice free VP lead for my opponent, because he decided to take this building. And then basically smokes and hides in the smoke, which basically my opponent is lost what he wants to do with the Durok, because even though I kind of misdeployed, if the Durok comes up here, he dies. If he goes out of this smoke, he takes the fight from the Orc and the Helot, and he also dies. Well, most likely dies, right? So, Margot is the one to possibly make a room for it. So Margot comes up, Krogman Hacker literally reveals, takes a shot at Margot, Margot tanks, Margot moves again, takes another fight against the Krogman, and Krogman takes her out with a combi rifle. So already paying himself. This leaves the Durok, and the Durok makes some moves, and then Chain Rifles takes some shots into face with the Helots, and he ends up taking out this guy, this Helot, tries to Chain Rifle those two, but I passed the rolls. So this guy is dead, and this guy is dead, right? The Margot is dead. And he retreats with one wound taken. Yeah, because somewhere there's also, well, yeah, there's also this Helot here that he kills. So he kills Helot, I killed Margot, and he puts the Kamau unconscious basically. Let me do this, and I take one wound from the Unknown Ranger, which is an okay turn, I suppose. It could be much worse if my opponent was more ballsy. He would just jump up, Chain Rifle or Grenade, and possibly take out the Lieutenant and put me loss of Lieutenant. But he tried once, I passed the dodge, lucky me. Now, we need to remove the and he plays a beeper because a mission requires you to put beepers. So Echo Bravo comes in and gets insane value, sarcasm, by shooting Durok in the back with a combi rifle, putting a Durok down, and he's there. He tries to then take a fight against the, well, yeah, sorry, he comes up, he cannot go anywhere because, well, Volkolak. Then the Kamau sniper that I have on this side of the table gets up, moves to this position, takes the fight against the Unknown, oh sorry, goes here, takes the fight against Unknown Ranger, and this is very important where the Bipandroli comes in clutch. Since this Kamau was unconscious at the start of the turn, there is only 2 person in the fire team, so only 1 burst medikit. So Bipandra comes up, heals with the Kamau with a whip roll. I have 3 command tokens, so this is pretty much a guarantee. I reform the fire team, the Kamau comes up, takes the fight with Unknown Ranger, and again, since I have Bipandra, I can die, reform, up to 3 times until I kill the Unknown Ranger. Luckily, I'll crit him with the first shot and the Unknown Ranger is deleted, remove it from the picture. I then move out here and take a very long fight against the Volkolak, put 1 wound on the Volkolak, and the Volkolak goes prone, which opens up space for this Echo Bravo to come up, try to shot at a rocket forward observer, fail to kill him, take the fight against Uxia, she smokes herself, and the Echo Bravo retreats, which is, you know, insane value for 27-point model. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the turn, and it's back to my opponent. So my opponent starts moving the bear, it's like going way around here, avoiding a lot of arrows. It goes here, kills the Echo Bravo, tries to do some stuff against the Krogman, but the Krogman keeps rolling dodge after dodge after dodge, while sneaking even a spotlight along the way, and the Krogman just hides inside of the building, which is great. And my opponent pretty much runs out of the orders and moves some stuff around forward. Then it's up to me, turn 2, and yeah, the Volkolak stands up and moves again, and yeah, shoots at the Fugazi, fails to kill it. My turn, Kamau Sniper takes a fight against the Volkolak. It takes me like 4 orders because that bastard just keeps rolling saves, but I end up killing the Volkolak to death and finally finish him off. I then move out, kill like a piece here, which was Varangian, then shoot the... I find an angle somewhere and kill the controller for the Bearpot. I then move the Montesa from this position, move here, destroy this building for 2 points. I then move here, take the fight against Denma, this situation. It takes me like 3 orders, I cannot wound this guy, he just keeps making saves. I then run to this corner and put a beeper inside of my opponent's deployment zone, while at the same time blocking it with my base. So this is basically it. My opponent's turn 3. The Denmark tries to run at the let's just go to the Denmark cam. So Denmark tries to run at the bike. First shot, I win the face-to-face roll and do nothing to him. Then Denmark berserks me. I swing, he swings, he deals 1 wound to Montesa, and I kill Denmark. Finally. And so this basically means that this Montesa is then free to go for the objective, Beeper is safe, and that's basically game at this point. But my opponent still tries to make some work with the bear he has. He moves to the objective, hacks it, then uses the rocket, runs, takes 2 or 3 combi rifle shots from the Crocman, tanks all of them, puts like 1, 2, 3 beepers, and it's up to me. Turn 3, really quickly, the fire team activates. I start shooting at the bear with like a mouse sniper, and after the bird tanking like 10 or 11 saves in a row, I decide this is basically pointless, and I start moving forward. I use my Fusiliers to clear beepers, but what ends up happening is the bird chain rifles me in the process. The Fusilier dies. I shoot all the beepers, fail to kill any of them because they roll all the saves. I start running my fire team to get the objective, which is on the other side. Along the way, like a SMG rocket plus mechanic SMG kill the entirety of my fire team, like 3 models. The Orc is the only sole survivor that manages to grab this beacon. Every other model is killed by like -6 shots from long range before they get to the objective, which is whatever. And then at the final end, basically the Montesa comes up, grabs this objective, which means I have 2 objectives, 2 points for this cyber security, 3 for the beepers, and 1 for more resilience card, and my opponent has 2 beepers, and then he has 3 for the objective, which is at the end like 8-5, something like that. Yeah, the Crocman hacker actually also stood up, put another beeper, tried to shoot the enemy beepers, didn't do any damage to them. So turn 3, I basically couldn't kill anything. Everything just passed the rolls. But at this point the game was already sealed because, you know, Montesa alone made the difference, and Montesa alone won the game. So really quickly, that's basically it. And yeah, well, to basically sum up this game, the table was really in my favor. The condition card, which is the knight, was also very much in my favor. And I think basically my opponent's list was designed to have a super optimal way of play, with the Unknown Ranger only having 5 orders. So the Unknown Ranger was stranded here, which allowed me to kill him. Uxia failed the roll, which also was huge because, well, Uxia failing the roll is also, you know, just huge. Yeah, Uxia cannot do anything. Durok plus Mirage, it wasted the entirety of the turn. I think my opponent could have fought bigger and decided to YOLO into the fire team, but he's played really cagey, took out 2 heals. I mean, killing 2 health is good, but only if it allows you to capitalize on it, right? And after turn 1, my opponent didn't have enough orders to do a bear attack run, and at turn 2 I already won the game, so turn 3 was basically pointless. Even if this bear managed to kill entirety of my fire team, I would still win. So yeah, this was the end, this was the final game of the tournament, and it ended up with me going at the first place, with the only one having 5-0 lead. Thanks everyone for watching this game in particular and every other before, and I hope you really enjoyed yourselves. Have a good game, and if you have any comments or questions, feel free to ask them, and I'll be happy to answer them. Have a good day or evening or whatever. Bye.